All right, everybody, welcome to the Challenger League Season 2, day number 2. Today, we've got a little special treat for you guys here as we have one of my old mentors here joining me back here from the EPT days, now inside of the PGL days. It's Elite Esports, it's BKG Mark, the man himself. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you? You good?
Hanging in there, man.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the invite, mate.
Of course, mate. You know me, always trying to get the community, get everybody involved here. I like to keep us hosts all involved in the same thing, man. We all have that same end game goal, assumingly that we want this community all together with a host for all these big events here, man. So it's good to have you finally here on the channel, man. Again, it's been quite some time since we've actually had you here, on the channel and hosting, events together, dude. It's been literally months and months, man. So it's good to have you back, especially after some time being off.
Appreciate it, man. Just needed the time. Needed the time. I believe we've got an early death as well. What's going on?
Unlucky for Brave there. Looks like he must have hit the trees and had a nice little early death right there. Unlucky for him. He's going to be right off the rip. I think he's safe for res. I mean, FSI should be able to get to him. There should be no trouble, but that's an unlucky start for FSI. Coming off, man, the biggest thing, so I'm looking at Challenger League Season 2. I know a lot of people are still confused as to what exactly the Challenger League is. So I had popped into Mark's stream the other day, and he was chatting it out with Jads, and Jads for CE was in the competition quite some time ago, but it actually looks like Vary's going to pick up that kill there onto Snow very early on, but it just looks like some people are misunderstanding the Challenger League here. So just to kind of clarify a few things when I got Mark here, Challenger League is a chance for new teams, yes, but it's also for a chance for older teams, much like GTS, much like FSS, to actually have a chance to really showcase what they have. They may not win every tournament. They may do great in an event from time to time, but they are not consistent enough to be like a GT, a WC, some of the teams who are taking home some of these top events. They have great talent on their teams, but this is a challenge league. It's to set themselves up for a challenge against teams who are in the same competitive scene, but they also want to have that same drive to kind of better themselves. They're not maybe the best in the lobby, but eventually, hopefully, after the top 3 teams kind of get pushed out, maybe after a few seasons, they do become the best inside the Challenger League season. And that right there just shows growth for your team, and that's exactly what we're hoping to do here inside the Challengers, man.
I think people's expectations are with a Challengers League, they don't want to see the big names, do they? Even individual names, and we spoke about it early off stream, but I suppose it's getting an understanding. Actually, maybe some of these people haven't played for some time. Maybe they've changed team and we're not aware. Maybe they've not been picked up by the big teams, so they're not playing the big competitions. So you're never going to please everyone. I think you've got the right thing on the go. I'm just looking for the leaderboard at the moment, but looking at some of these names, I know some of these names well. And yeah, I wouldn't put them as high flyers, but it looks like the Project 7 guys. This is a new team that's been put together, and changing our dynamics. These type of events.
Very much so, man. Very much so. There's a lot of new teams, like I said. And Keezy last time, if he was in here as a challenger for No Mercy, they weren't able to fill a roster. So, I gave Keezy the option. I said, hey, if you can field a roster in between these times, dude, we'll make it happen. He finds 4 individuals who are ready to play the game. He finds a 5th. Ooh, good shots coming out there from Kimi. Whoo, FSS. Does have some good work. This battle go down between FSS. We'll come back to this here in a second, Mark, but let's give these guys some love here and some attention. Got FSS doing bits right now, making the push onto TPG. They find the first lock onto McLovin. Now it's Hunter still down, and CJ going to stick the res here. The new addition for TPG after leaving FSI. TPG, a team here, third-party gamers, put together after FSI kind of broke apart and rebranded themselves, with a new team. This is now kind of like the aftermath here of FSI as now TPG looking to set themselves up. And they've had a rough start here. Day number 1 was not the best for this team, but again, they're looking for a day number 2 to have a better chance to reset. But running into FSS off the rip, Mark, man, this is, again, one of those teams who may not be the best in, in their division, but they are a team to also be feared, man. I see FSS in the top quite some time, at least in the top 5 teams quite often. I don't know about you when you run, but that's a team that I definitely look out for.
FSS have always been those guys that have been around, so we know they're good shooters. Obviously, TPG came in late here with a cast. These guys that are very much grip were right on top of each other. despite there being no one else in North George, what I'm really interested to see is how do these two teams rotate out of here? They've got to think long game now. They've got to think about actually, hold on, we need to get to zone. It's the first game. It's a longer tournament. We can't be dying off the rip as a 50-50 chance pushing a flat because I don't know about you, but I hate pushing flats. Even if you're 4-man up, you're bound to lose someone.
Just like that. That's it, man. Like I said, these apartments are nothing. You want to come out. There could be 3 different levels, 3 different doors for any player to be sitting in there. So I think they're going to do the right thing. TPG makes their way out of the back. FSS looks like they are going to go. Our other team, who is Team 4, actually looks like they've already made their way out. LTR wastes no time. They take the VIX, and they're one of the first teams to actually rotate out of the 3 teams that are in George Pool. So not a bad rotation, not a bad move from them. Again, yeah, that's a key factor right there. Coming into these gameplays, you don't realize how important it is for rotation. TPG actually secures a Vic as well. And they're going to make that rotation out. They're going to play for the late game. They're not able to get a kill. They're on to FSS. The knock comes through, so at least they have them weakened a little bit. But that's about all they're going to get from that.
Good to see some of these teams making some early rotations. We've got a real heavy move in on the east side here with a number of teams going to be taken in and around that sort of chinky hill. Glad to see a couple of rotation kills just because we're hosts. But we definitely got a big movement from a lot of teams now pushing in. Core, though, I'd say were the first to move and get that compound. So we know Zabu from the V days. Like, these boys have clearly opted to set up shop quite early. And look at these names, all very strong names here. I think it's going to be a hard compound to take off Core, team number 6 there.
There's a nice little read from them. Byron's going to set up. He's going for the spray. Almost gets Radish out of the vehicle right there. That's the drive-by shots we were looking for. Just not going to happen. But Core is definitely beautifully positioned, as Mark was just talking about. They're in a great spot right off the rip. Trait's actually doing some scouting there for the squad as well. Keeping down some more retail there just in case the circle does pull a little bit further down south. So that's a nice rotation play coming out from Core thus far with the addition of Traits right there. After EXG just not really able to field the full 4-man roster all the time. They're starting to break apart. I don't know about you, Mark, I've seen Tiro in GT roster.
Yeah, I guess I've only just come back, but I'm trying to get my head around, 1, everybody who's moved, because we know what that's like, but 2, just not seeing full roster names. Even in some of these paid, you tend to find 3 and a spare. It seems to be a lot more of that happening.
100%, man. Like I said, to me, I mean, this is me. When I first came in the EU scene, there was teams that were stacked, man. Like, there was teams that were just like, all right, winning every event. I don't care if you showed up. I mean, it was just kind of like, it was their game, right? I mean, it was pretty much a guarantee they were top 3, top 5. And I feel like with the way things have been adapting, teams have kind of disbanded. Teams are finding out there's other players they kind of like to play with. You know, they have these variables that they're kind of considering now in their play styles. And I think that has a lot to do with why we see certain teams starting to make these adjustments and starting to make pickups, and why we see some teams who may not have had the best roster from previous times and now starting to stack their roster up and find some sort of respect in their plays.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right with that. A lot of teams, though, look at this split. A lot of teams are edging for this potentially to go south with this zone. I think there's a lot of water in, so it could bounce north, and we might see a big shift. But I definitely feel like at least 80% of this lobby is expecting it to land in and around Core, or south of that. A couple of teams playing out maybe for the east as well.
And that's not a bad read, man. I mean, Care Pack going to be dropped. Whoever decides to come here, looks like it's going to be Snow going to gain control of this. So we got a nice little MK14 with some 3 gear here sitting out for Snow. Happy with that. Got to love the fact that Care Package getting dropped off the rip. Another one in the vicinity of P7 over there, again, who are looking out for Project 7. Starting off, again, a team that was just put together here at the start of everything. P7's kind of played in various events before, but for them to be performing this well together here as a 4-man, it's absolutely fantastic to see this team finding their momentum, finding their groove. They're not in the best position in the circle, but that circle will shift, and then it's actually going to kind of favor them up. Core still in a great position, Toxic as well, and then LTR and MW absolutely happy with the fact that shift just pulled to the west side.
Core could be in trouble here if teams push in now for one of these compounds. Zabu and Traits strong together, but a 4-man pushing up on them might be quite hard. They're playing that ridge line really high. They just got to be careful they don't get cut off. I think a lot more teams are going to go push through. PXC are going to be in a great position if they just hold and try and maybe get some of these rotation kills that they're trying to do now. I just got to make sure that Dabu and Traits don't hold out for too long and get caught.
Catching him out. They almost get Rexy right there. Looks bad. More shots coming through. Looks like GTS taking their chance to get some shots. Rexy in a bad spot. He's going to drive past LTR still, too, who's sitting up here at the Wizard Tower. Looking to make some magic happen here. Can they find Rexy off the vehicle here? One more tap to the head right there. Rexy will fall, but it looks like he is able to pull away. 3 different teams take shots. Nobody able to find the knock, and the rest of NFS now pulling behind here. Looks like LTR, yet again, another chance to take shots, but no knock to come through as NFS still pulls off. It's Rotation City right now, phase 2. A lot of teams going center. And you know what, Mark? That north and the west side really not, you know, too opportunistic. Everybody's kind of leaving it bare right now. There's so much room, so much retail up there.
I think the retail estate's going to come down towards Project 7 on this closeout. There might be a good space at the end. Interesting that Team 17 FSS actually playing passive. They're sitting on the outside. They're waiting for a few more zones to go. Would have expected a couple more rotation kills, especially with some of those crazy rotations in. There were some long ways round to park the cars up, but it looks like, again, all teams are in. Obviously, apart from IBZ, which is coming in on our east side of the
Ooh, looking at BHE. They might have Toxics pinned here. A couple more bullets. That vehicle's exploded. I think they do enough damage. The vehicle does explode. Toxic's going to have to stop. They're stuck in a position. BHE can pick up some kills here. They've got the advantage. They've got the hard cover, but Toxic somehow able to put BHE, all 4 members, back inside the auditorium here, and they're going to be stuck there. Or excuse me, the observatory. And they're going to be stuck just kind of sitting there as the full 4. Toxic starting to make a spread here. And if they control the outside ridge of this hill, BHE is going to be in a bad spot here with no outside ridge help.
Looks like they're making the play now for the outside, but boat taking a double heady there, putting it down to a 1-shot.
Nice little rotation. That right there is going to be key moves. If you can't get somebody outside that building, leaving all 4 inside the one observatory building right there is definitely going to be bad idea for the push. But it looks like they've got the idea. Trell is starting to make his way out. Sly and the rest of Toxics starting to pull back the other direction here. So Trell might actually get some good shots as he peeks up over the top. He's going to graze the hair of Sly right there. But both players still kind of looking back and forth at one another here. No real shots really to be taken.
Project 7 getting their first knock at the moment. Snow just rotating a little bit too close to Quarry there on that north side. Getting picked up. They should get the confirm. They obviously do have FSI also have taken some real estate in Quarry now.
Get it back there. Yeah, right behind him, you can see they've made some nice moves here to kind of position themselves here. 2 care packs actually drop right in their positions. FSI going to be able to probably take both of those here. So that's going to be 3 gears on 2 players for FSI if they can play that out right. P7, no interest in moving there. They want to get their kill on Snow, though. So they are kind of pressuring forward with the smoke up, making sure they get this kill here on the Yams. And you have to respect the play. You don't want to leave that kill too long to be thirsted. Sometimes you forget about it. You're like, oh, there's nobody there to get the knock. Somebody will come back and pick that res. So I think scouting to get that kill might not be the worst idea. But again, you don't want to get too overextended, being the fact that you're outside the zone here. So you're going to kind of pull back, wait for the kill maybe to now bleed out, and then make the rotation in. That west side circle is still very heavy. And there's a lot of rotation still to be made for these teams now on that east side. There goes Fury looking to pull. Views coming down, man. He's going to get a nice little edge spot here for S9.
Just actually pulled away. Look at north rotation. Back up to that northwest.
TPG looks like they're going to be running into a situation here. FSS set up right off the top of the hill. They're going to open up onto TPG. It's just 3 of them left up after earlier's battle there at the start of the match there. Good shots from FSS. They're just not able to find him out of the vehicle. Somehow TPG survives the absolute chaos.
Again from FSS who were chasing them down first, right?
Man, TPG just no love this time around. Third-party gaming, absolutely third-partied from every team here. They're getting the back blunt of the name right there, as it just seems this now may be a position for GTS to be in trouble. But now TPG does pull off, so BHE not going to be able to sandwich him out here with the help of TPG.
Look at this from PUBG. Core in a situation, really strong compound, now having a fight to get in the vehicle. Team 3, LTR though. I love that bit. You're going to catch a lot of people out. Core need to be careful about how they rotate out this one. I think they get out, they can potentially do the long rotation around to the field. The $1 million question is, where are they going to land now? Where's the real estate going to take people?
It's honestly up in the air. Not a lot of teams thinking that West Side S9, the only team NFS a little bit as well. Core is in a good spot. They're getting some rotation shots before actually moving into the top side of the hill. They're going to be playing really, really late. Mark, we're going into phase 4 here, buddy, and we got 16 teams still up with 59 players, man.
Going to be rotation kill. Oh, look at that. Project 7 have pulled up right in between Core and LTR. Team 3 and Team 6 might even be lapping in some gunshots here. They're trying to make the cars more effective.
Grows with good shots. There's LTR in another spot. Again, they're still at the Wizard Tower. They're going to take a few shots here. No knock again onto OPZ there, but they're in a great spot to get rotation kills. They're just somehow not making it happen. P7 just outside their vicinity. Looks like this may be the fight to focus. Driz tries to get OPZ from pulling up as well, but the fight needs to be turned around. They need to be keeping P7 there at the edge of the ridge as OPZ nowhere to stop. I think it may be a GG's for them as our first team out of the lobby here. It's a rough rotation.
They're going to be right behind him. They took some gunshots there at LTR, and they're going to get Core. They're sitting in between Core and Team 6. It's just going to be hell for them on Earth now.
Ooh-wee. Nothing you can do there. I mean, OPZ driving through absolute chaos. I mean, that was death at first sight right there. And you can just see OPZ, our first team, down and out here. Day number 2 of the Challenger League. Coming back for P7. The knock already onto LTR. Core in a position to help LTR get P7 out of the lobby. Our top team coming into today here. And P7 definitely not ready to go out here in 15th here. So hoping to make the rotation in with these two teams kind of on that position. Hoping to get that, you know, top 5 here, at least in the first game, if not the victory. There's Snow having a rough rotation.
Snow, they just got wrecked on rotation.
That's it. And they said we didn't see it happen a lot in phase 1 and phase 2, but that phase 3, which is absolutely detrimental to a lot of these teams here rotating.
Great shots from Rexy.
FSS looks like they're going to get another round at GTS here. 2 knocks already in play here. Tempe to get the third here. The confirmation on 1. It's now very still up as Arminis comes through the smoke. He's looking to get off the donut here. He's going to whiff a little bit. Get those shots, Arminis. Come on, get that donut, baby. Oh, he's not going to get it, but from the side comes Core. Very to fall right there. Arminis still potentially on the donut here coming into day number 2. He needs to break that one. I know he's beating himself up. Good plays coming out from FSS. That's a second fight. What against GTS here in this lobby?
Get involved now. Here they come.
They've got good util. It's being tossed over the side. Oh, they're going to get both the reses, though, before the grenade does some damage.
Pressure's going to help, though.
Yeah, if they don't get these meds off, they get him actually off here. BHE playing it cautiously, and honestly, it's probably the smart play. But the aggression would have been the move there. Good shots from Cumi. Vincent holding out behind here. He's going to pop him over the top here, looking to find these shots. Still not able to get the damage as BHE just falling apart here. There he is, Vincent over the top. He's going to find the first knock, looking to find the second. Tempe still there as Anthology pulls up. He gets the 1v1 with Vincent, and then that's it for BHE.
LTR getting involved there.
Have to love it.
So annoyed at that.
BHE, man, just don't want to see him go down like that. The third-party shots come through. So much damage still being done. In the meantime, P7 pulls up on the Core. Core able to take control here of the compounds just outside the swamp. They are now in control of that center of the zone. After a rough rotation, as Mark called out earlier, they're able to make plays and still find center zone yet again.
This is where it comes down to knowledge sometimes. That rotation and knowing when to fight, knowing when not to fight. And you just got to keep your cards. And that zone is just done dirty again.
You've seen that one.
BHE, though, for me, they should have been at least a second, 2 seconds ahead of their thought process. And they should have got involved in that fight a lot quicker. But obviously, that's what happens.
Obviously, yeah, you kind of try to give that slow aggression. But again, you see how much, if you would have just pressured that situation, you know, again, moments sooner, how much more you would have been in control of that fight. A 2v4 rather than a 4v4 fully situation definitely would have been a lot more in BHE's favor. But FSS comes out on top. Back-to-back fights, GTS, BHE now in the bag.
FSI, though, crashing the compound and doing some damage, but NFS are just fighting nit and grit to try and survive it. They've got it down to a 2-on-1, though.
It's Holdar. Good shots coming out from Holdar and Shep here. Shep with the last one. He's going to find Dins. Whew.
Vector as well. It just stings when you get killed with Vector.
Nobody likes to go down by the 9mm. Oh, don't pick him up, Shep. No. Oh, Braveheart's comms right now. I'd love to have those comms. Shep put him on his back and he died. Ooh, GG's. FSI comes out on top there, only to lose one to an unnecessary miss on the res. Back to Core. Core, the knock onto Traits as Traits is down here inside the blues. Toxic still across the street, across the swamp, waiting to be the next Shrek here and take control of their swamp. Who is it, Core or Toxic? We'll see here towards the end as Z-Clan makes the pull up. MW towards the back here. Nowhere else to go. They're going to stop onto this fight. Take the fight. Cooked up Util. It's in the air. It's over the top. Santa to fall. Traded out for Speaker. It's a 1-for-1.
Here comes the 2-on-1 push. He's gone back to a 2-on-2. He's pointing oh.
Ooh, good shot from Faloo. Machine still going to come there. Every shot coming through left for right.
Iris is making a play here. Look at this. He's gone a long way around.
He's coming all the way around the back, man. Groza not going to see this one coming. Whiffs the shots, though. Oh, man.
He shot his own player. Oh, he's going to be annoyed at that. He should have shot a lot earlier. He went for the victory.
Man, I respect the play. The wrap was beautiful, but you know what? You take your own teammate down, you whiff the shots. You're going to watch that one back and not let that one go. LTR on the crash. Core starting to fall. 2 players down. LTR still full 4 up. Seconds now down. Traits inside the smoke. As this could be it for Core. He's going to stick the res potentially, but the pressure from LTR can't stop now. Bring it in. Traits, you got this, baby.
He's got it. He's got it as well.
He does. Another smoke grenade in play there. Core back up to 2. Oh.
Good night, though.
Nate is good, but Driz with the shot. Slide from the side. Rolls at a fall. Core down and out in 7th. Well played. Good rotations, but that's going to be it.
Hard work for Core. Big hat off of them. They had to shift quite a few times as well. But yeah, that's a hard hold. But yeah, losing the compound there.
Man, yeah, again, hats off to Core. Rough rotations, big plays coming out to at least get there into 7th place. But again, only so much can be done here when every other team has that same desire to win this Challenger League here. Toxics inside top 6 here. Much better day for Toxics today. I love to see this team getting a chance to reset. They had a rough day, day number 1. Now they're here back again inside the top 6. And again, it took them 4 games to get inside the top yesterday. This time around, first game around, much better day for them.
Good positioning. I think it was, for me, coming to this zone before, I think it was going to be a Core/Toxic win. Just looking at the zone placement, it's just unlucky that Core got overrun. A big push here, though. S9 now having a push.
100%. Now S9 looking to try to find the pressure on the Tog here. They're going to get shot in the back.
Look, they've turned around. They've received 2 knocks and...
Yeah.
Turn around. They've stopped the pressure.
It's from the back though. It's Toxic. Just got the knock there on a date, confirmed him as well. So I mean they're on the push, but they're also trying to have to watch their back here, and that's just not necessarily working out for them in their favor. But here comes 2v2 through the door. C to get taken down and confirmed, and then through the window. Fury from the side. Good shots. Good shots.
Good grab. He's just running there, grabs some smoke, and he's off it. Fury. Decent play.
Decent play. Newer squad. Love to see these guys finding that momentum. He's always talking good things, always positivity there for Fury. And you know what? He's bringing his team here into a very toxic game setting here in the swamp. So you know what? He's doing a great job making the work there. And he's making some recruitments here that seem to be working for the team. So great first game from not only Toxic, but S9 as well, as LTR makes their first appearance inside the top 3 after rotation, being the absolute defeat of LTR yesterday. This time around, they're inside the top 5, all 4, and not only that, they've got some kills.
The big question for teams that be watching back on this is FSI, is what they're doing the right thing and playing smart, playing quiet, letting these other teams just have a huge bloodbath out in the swamp. I know some players that more want to get involved, and they might be pushing more for a center zone placement. They've got a line in front of them. It looks like Holder is making the play now for. It's going to be interesting to see what time FSI get involved in the fight now versus zone placement. They
Absolutely.
could be scabbing off so many kills.
They're in a great spot. If this shift does shift to the west side, then they're absolutely going to be in favor. But it's a donut right into the middle. Both sides still in play. So
Oh, good for FSI though.
that
All good for them.
good for just about everybody except for these teams here in the swamp who seem to just be taking shots at one another as FSI just kind of enjoys the view from afar. Here's the shots going off here. And they're just going to honestly enjoy this, wait for these teams to beat up on each other, potentially see even a second place from really not having to do too much here.
If FSI don't push the ridge and hold the ridge, and then a team wins that fight in that swamp, they will be a better cover to fight out from the swamp than someone else. It looks like Big Shep is either itchy for a kill or he knows that because he's pushing to the line that he needs to hold. The unfortunate thing is he needs his team with him.
Ooh, Shep. Nice rep. He's got him. Good shots with the Vecchi. He's got slap down. Groza, the next victim here. Lines him up shot for shot, back and forth. Groza still with the pressure. LTR on the ramp. Here they come on the back. The nice little play here. They are going to steal slap away from Shep and then probably find Groza. No, Groza finds the one.
Yes.
Grenade from Shep finds nuts.
Yes, Shep.
Let's go, Shep.
You need, mate. Come on, FSI. Get closer to this fight.
Makes him pay right there. Where's the rest of FSI when he needs him? Groza gets the chance to heal, but S9 just doing bits on the Toxic over here.
Top 4 teams as well. FSI. Being FSI Toxic maybe, but they need to be pushing up, mate.
There needs to be a lot more movement. So we're looking at the zone right now, and the control in it is honestly great for FSI. Toxic is in the center there, but the bad thing for Toxic is they have S9 on one side, MW on another, and then FSI, you know, again, kind of to that west side.
Got 2 more zone shifts though. We're sitting on phase 7. We've got 8 and 9. I think it's going to land FSI away, but what they don't, FSI, if they get caught out running in the open because they haven't got as much cover as everyone else, they're gonna feel the pain. My logic is S9's going to wrap up to the ridge now, and then try and play the next zone in from there. Toxic really can't allow that to happen, and they really need to control one side of these zones. They'll be sitting there thinking they know they've got players either side of them, but they've got to control this whole area. So you might see them aggressively push out. Big Shep, real good push for him on the south side here. Would have liked him to still hold that ridge and really stop Groza from coming out, but it's got to be an FSI surely win.
The way that they have this held right here, especially with the numbers in their favor, Fox is in a position to do some damage still on the Toxic. Had he find that knock right there, FSI should have definitely pushed up. But the phase 8 will shift, still keeping Toxic in, FSI in, and then Groza probably going to get caught out here, really with nowhere else to go here. It comes down to now, can you make the play to at least take down one member of Toxic, you know, giving FSI that much more of the advantage here? Or do you just kind of sneak your way in? Because you know FSI definitely has information that there's still one member left up there, with Shep not leaving the tractor and Holdar being sent over to kind of feed that information as well. There is Sly, there's Fox.
Here we go. FSI pushed in, but have they forgotten about Groza?
They do forget about him, and I'm sitting there giving him credit, thinking they had all the eyes for him, but Groza in the back, he's going to walk right out, and he may see the second place now.
Picks up his shotgun as well.
I love that. Shotgun sniper.
Jeez, that is an aggressive play.
Ooh, the right back. They've spotted him. They've spotted him. It's looking grim for FSI for a second there.
It was.
Shep's got him here with the shotgun and that Vector.
That's
Shep.
what you want. Oh my god, what a dirty play.
He's only okay.
Out, Shep.
he only needed half the clip there too. He didn't even need that extended mag. Love the Vector back in competition here inside of the top 2. Looking to be the victors here, bringing out the Vecchi. Holder with the Groza, and Shep actually going to switch out to the Mini 14, keeping him at a distance here. And FSI may take home the first victory of the night.
I feel that they would have closed this out already if they already had pushed the ridge. But they put themselves in a corner. I actually think it's a fair fight. It's going to be a 3-on-2, but Toxic have been a little bit more aggressive. They might be able to catch them out. FSI have lost pride, so he might be able to pop up and get a few kills here. He's been seen now, though.
Easier said than done here. I mean, it's going to take... Holdar's on the push. He's got the Groza in hand. 7.62 v 7.62. As he gets the 1v1, he takes the shots. The AK just hitting better for right now, so he's going to have to step off inside the smoke. Pride and Hypey both going to find Shep. Frosty to fall right now, and now it's left just up to hold on. FSI with such a strong position, looking to fall apart. Pride gets the heal off in time. The Groza goes for the spray, and he's whiffs to the left. Unlucky for FSI.
They should have been on that line. They should have controlled that game out from that ridge.
They had that one in the bag right there. Let it slip away, and sometimes when you don't get the aggression, the passiveness was played perfectly till that phase 8, and then the aggressive need to be kicked. I think you're absolutely right there, Mark. But you know what? They do what they can. They find themselves 7 kills in a second place. I mean,
take it. Take the points all day long.
Yeah, you take those. We reset. We come back for game number 2, and you know what? We do it again.
100%.
See y'all back here for game number 2 in about 5 minutes. Back for Erangel. All right, everybody, and here we are back for game number 2, yet again inside the Challengers League, Season 2, day number 2. A little bit of
number 2.
okay, something like
All
that.
the twos.
We're back here with 2 something, man. We got 2 hosts. It's day 2. It's Season 2. You know.
I have, on the break, been looking through the Tryout GG, and there are some shocking stats and facts. If you guys are in this competition, you need to get yourself on Twino. Obviously, you can support them, patron them, or they give a lot out free. And with that, you can go back and look at your teams. There are some teams with some high average point placement, but they're not as high on the board as you think they are. I was really shocked.
Man, the leaderboard surprises me as well. Like I said, after day number 1, there was so much opportunity. I think a lot of people had expectations who was going to be up there, and then when you go to look at the leaderboard, you look back at it, and you're like, that doesn't kind of speak the stats that I just saw, but you know,
there's some wins with some low kills as well. So other teams high kills but not getting the placement doesn't always mean good tournament wins.
You could win every fight off the rip, but if you're not making the moves to get in that end game circle, it just doesn't pay off. FSS, the FSS is in this fight. This is one of those teams that is actually at that low kill but high points. You know, because they have a high placement but low kills. Plus the chicken dinner they had off of day number 1. FSS is kind of one of those teams where they're playing off both points here. They're not just focused on getting the win. They're not just focused on getting the place points or the kills. They've got a little bit of it all. It's not working entirely to keep them in first, but it's definitely keeping them relevant here in the tournament here, just being that it's only day number 2.
Yeah, they're not bad. 6.8 average game points, so not too bad.
Ooh, Kimi, there it is. Tog, Andy OG from the back. FSS starting to fall apart.
You're holding it.
Man, this is like no scopes. This is all iron sights on both sides here. 8 shots left in Andy OG's chamber. He's going to hope to get some loot here off the box. He does at least grab some ammo there, giving Artemis that chance to get the res here up top as he sticks it. It's now a 2v2 until Andy gets the res here on the in-game leader, bringing it back to the 2v3. As it looks like Tempe still alive. If FSS can pressure in the right fashion, they may be able to save Tempe out here, come back out alive with 3 people still up. But again, no armor, bare minimum loot. This is a fight that, you know, you want to take, but you're also kind of make sure that you just kind of steer clear.
This is a hard push up as well. Like if FSS hold it right, they could get away with quite a bit here. But how much ammo they got? What armor do they have? And more importantly, like could the team just back out and run away? That fall, they're gonna hear that.
He's looking.
Move.
It's not a bad move though. He's coming down. They're gonna Anthology gonna do the second. It looks like they're just trying to make the best of the moves here. And C still not even involved here. You can see him. He's still in the distance over there, actually at Milta. Thinking about getting involved here, but there's Anthology from the top. He's gonna find Artemix right off the bat, confirms that kill, and that's it. Back to an even playing field, 2 for 2 as C will join. It's gonna be Tog with a third member joining here. FSS having a chance to maybe put the fight here down a little bit sooner. And if they can get that, they'll stop this pretty much outplay, we'll call it here, because FSS really not having a chance to even move out of the building here. I'm watching these two teams here, you know, kind of trying to get in their heads here as to the play here. Neither team wants to back off the fight here. They're going to take the fight here. It's just a matter of how they take this fight. Ooh, good shots coming out there from Arminus. but just not enough to match both in-game and Andy as he come out to the side right there. It's just Anthology here at the top. Nowhere really to move out for now. Anthology dropping down, doing another similar move here. May be able to get away there. Peeks through the doorway. He's actually still trying to get aggressive. Doesn't want to leave the fight here. I thought he may have tried to get away there over the fence there, but he's going to go for the fight here with 3 members still of TOG, and unfortunately he's going to lose right there. Anthology.
Should have left. Should have run away.
I mean, like I said, you had the opportunity. You get down, they don't notice you. Your best bet was probably to go about the wall there and try to get away there. But, it just does not look good for them here in this sense, and unfortunately, FSS, the first team eliminated here right off the rip here in Game 2. Core, yet again, they're on the rotation. They're driving right past Toxics here. Toxics after the win. They're looking to find some early kills here on the Core. Traits will be able to stop there at the warehouse, at least be able to heal for now, but...
Who is the IGL now for Core? Is it Zabu?
Who is IGL? So yeah, it should be between Rauza and Zabu, IGL and 4 Core right now with the leave of Silencer here. They're trying to let Rauza come in and kind of run it as well as Zabu. Traits kind of just there to frag out. Traits really doesn't want to do too much as far as calling shots anymore. He just wants to come out and frag, man.
Traits is a good player. He's always has been. He's very good, very shots on. He's got good PUBG knowledge as well. So, always an interesting player to watch. And he can hold his ones, so...
And again, he's been around for quite some time. He's been on our side of the scene as well, seeing the inside and the outside of the events here. So again, definitely a player we respect here inside of, our PUBG lounges, our PUBG Discords here. He's been around for quite some time. So good to see him getting out with a team here that definitely has the right heart in the PUBG community here. So rather than not being with EXG, at least Core gives him another chance to be back out here on the battlefield, at least performing the way that he wants to perform here after, years and years of just being here for the community. Gonna peek over to Snow here as I'm looking kind of on their vicinity. They had a rough game number 1. A rough rotation there, game number 1. Day 1 was not really... Oh, man, Snow! Oh.
I don't need to pick it up.
Jeez, man, this poor guy pulls up. He just gets on the bike, pulls up to the compound, and OPZ ready to greet him there with a brigade of bullets right there. DJ O Snow yesterday clutched up the 3v1 against P7 yesterday, man. So, I was thinking, that this team was going to come out again and do some bits, but man, that's 2 back-to-back games here. Rough losses already early on. I do respect the early rotation. We know what region we're playing in. Right, Mark? We ain't in the NA where these boys take forever to rotate. It's EU. That's the first thing on these guys' mind as soon as they hit the ground.
Yeah, it is a EU thing. I must admit, doing both hosting for NA and EU, I'd definitely say EU have a better rotation path than normal, than NA, and also have better PUBG awareness. But I will say though, NA is far more aggressive. That they if they want to compound, they push it. Doesn't matter what time. And they're also willing to take on more fights quite early on as well, where we see some teams, not all teams, but some teams in the EU scene, they'll try and sit out, they'll ride the zones in because they want to get that balance we spoke about earlier, that kills versus placement balance.
That's just it, man. You look to find that right rhythm here. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but you know what, man? I mean, setting up in a tournament, to a degree, this is trying to set yourselves up for, bigger tournaments such as SSL, and if the PCL continues to run, things like PCL to get your teams conditioned to be able to play in this level of play. Because again, there's just so much to learn, so much knowledge, and everything. I still learn things for PUBG off players, that I've spectated, and it's honestly amazing to see players still surprise me in the moves that they make for this game here, and that's just how you know that this game forever will always be able to be played differently here, whether or not the talent is there. I mean, it also comes down to the rotations, the skills, and just the overall knowledge.
And that only comes by playing, and not playing ranked. Not the same as ranked.
Never. I'll tell you, man, if I'm on ranked and I'm getting 7 kills, let's just say it's not the same, all right?
If I can get 7 kills on ranked, it's definitely not the same. I've always been rubbish at this game.
My hat's off to these guys who come out and top frag and 7 kills, 8 kills in one match here, man. I mean, this is not an easy lobby. These are not dumb players. These guys all put their heart and soul into PUBG. A lot of time, a lot of days spent playing PUBG to learn the rotations, to learn, some of the mechanics that they've learned here. So, you just have to give your hat off and realize how much these players do bring to the table and how much, the work that they've actually put in here.
100%. And everyone's sitting middle, give or take.
This
obviously on a little bit more on the defensive side now because of that last FSI playing the outside. So it's the second game for them. I feel like they're playing a little bit more passive, but they look like they're weighing up the end game. Here comes the zone shift. Straight on core. Core again, nailing the zone shift. Whoever is IGL for core, they are calling the right rotation.
That right now is definitely working for core. Only thing for them, and you know what? See, we've seen it happen to them the first game, and we see it happen to quite a few other teams. They get the center right on the first phase. The second phase still not going to be too bad. The third phase not going to be the worst. But then that fourth, fifth, and sixth phase for core trying to get in was difficult. And
it's hard. Again, I've only recently come back, so I'm judging this off a limited amount of games watched. The earlier rotations are easy because people are more spread out. They're hard. It gets harder because people get more condensed. And we know with EU lobbies, we're phase 3. We might still have 16 teams up. Phase 4, 16 teams may still be up. There's a lot more traffic when it comes to rotation. So naturally, people are going to die. But I will say with core, they rotate nice and quick. That last game, I think they got caught coming out that compound, and that might have been because they were looking for the kills, rotation kills. They didn't get the teams going past them, I think, as they wanted. So they kind of were split, but they're in the center now. I can't see it going too far away from them shifting, but hey, it is PUBG.
Hey,
we're seeing a lot of teams now getting caught, potentially trying to get through barricades of teams now.
Rotating here, I'm watching MW and Snow thinking the same ideas here. They're both driving the same direction. Santa's going to find the knock on a speaker as Palu will confirm. These teams will kind of intertwine with one another, but no shots, no knocks to come through. Just kind of passing for now. You have to say, this is one of those slow plays. The rotation is going to be key for this early game.
So Project 7 got one, they've lost one.
And it looks like here at the top of Potato Hill, the 1-for-1 as Mark just called out. We're watching Keezy go the 1v1 here with potential in-game leader. He finds not only Keezy, but Entels, baby. Hash right there in the smoke as well as he's going to find one, confirms both.
And they got the red as well.
But Hash to come through.
He bit off a little bit too much there. He really wanted to get that kill, and that caused him to go out in 15th.
G to the G's, P7. After a great first day, first place, they've been one of the first teams down in almost 2 games now. P7.
What they need to do, they need to get out the lobby. They need to sit in here and just reset, chat in party, reset, let this game go and go back in. That felt a little bit aggressive there.
A little bit over aggressive.
And hey, let's get a kill. Let me throw my body and get a kill, despite us having a better placement. Snow nearly done the same there. I think I was literally about to say Snow need to stay where they are, and they opted to drive towards core. That's going to be too much of a hard compound for them to hold core. Maybe phase 3, phase 4, but while we're sitting on this phase, I think it's going to be great for them just to hold. Snow just need to sit tight. Sometimes playing open space is actually, hey, a good thing. People look at compounds first before they look for gaps.
And the thing is that, like I said, that they won't be looking there as well. That's rotation kills, right? You're going to drive right past that thinking there's not a team there. And you may just end up with 1 or 2 rotation kills there, and then that team you may see later on in the end game. And now you've got them weak, you've got them beaten, you've got them bruised, and that just may open the door here for you to potentially either get in the circle or just find...
Stop fighting.
Yeah.
School. They need to leave school alone and get these rotation kills that are coming their way.
And I'm surprised. Everybody is considering the apartment. I've seen 3 different squads now drive to the apartments and pull off. The first team somehow still alive. BHE, the last team, and then Snow, the middle team. It looks like, Snow able to at least survive for now. BHE, I thought was going to consider the same rotation, but they're pulling up a little bit higher again in that open space. They're right above Snow, and again, that's a good pull up there. The only thing they have to worry about now is the different angles they will see from various sides of this mountain.
They just need to focus on Potato Hill now. Potato Hill is going to kick off between 3, 5, and S9, LTR, TOG, S9. They're going to have to work their way down. Snow is just not settled. They want to move again. Sit still, lads. Just let the zones come down. Go pick up those extra kills. BHE know this because you've moved. They're now coming down and rain in on you.
And Snow, it doesn't seem like they want to take the fight either. So it's like they're waiting to get the end game. I respect the heck out of it. I really do respect that they're trying to wait for the end game. But sometimes there's a fight you have to take. This is one of those fights. You don't run from this one. This one you take. Ooh, good grenade from Vincent, but they've already rotated.
That zone shift away has been very much in the east, north, northeast. Core still sitting good. Or I think needs to make a decision now what side of the compound they hold. I think they need to tag up. For me personally, it needs to be Zabu trade side, so they've got the hill to rotate up and round. The last thing you want to do is be running through that field towards school. We definitely think the zone's going to shift that way now.
The way after that east side pool, if anything, it'll come up here towards the school, towards that Rozak Hill there, as it looks like TPG going to take and capitalize on that. They do see an opening here on the hill. They may be able to play it, but they're going to drive and continue to rotate past, maybe with Little Rose as the potential destination to stop here. And it looks like that may be the case here. Not a whole lot of other options if they do keep driving here, but continuing to drive, more shots coming through. They may just see a loss here if they can't settle themselves either.
Everyone's sending themselves into flats and compounds.
Oh, and then out of all the options they just had, I know TPG's going to watch that back. They drove past so many different events, or so many different compounds there, dude. Like, oh, man, there was just so much open space. TPG now in a good spot for late game, but...
I kind of get it, though, right? So your logic is, right, definitely schools, definitely people in flats. Flats is a hard one, don't know where to crash because of who's in what flat, right? My assumption also would be, well, small flats is definitely taken, and that compound on the corner, the L compound, that is the strongest compound I think that's going to be playing off this and trying to work their way in. So I think they would have avoided that one. FSI, playing passive, we spoke about this in the early game, the late part of the second game, they're sitting on the outside, but actually this might pay off again for them. They might actually control it out. Rozuk might not get any teams pushing, and they're going to have that whole north side of that hill that they can work their way in and maybe get some teams that have been maybe slipping out on the field and or that are coming off the mountain. I think it's going to be all down to this next zone shift.
And there it is. It's going to pull down to the south there, keeping a little bit of that Potato Hill still in play. A lot of those north side teams who didn't even consider, not even a single team on that north end, Rozak not even considered by anybody, as FSI will be one of the only teams on that north end. They'll kind of rotate in. They will have a little bit of road to play, but there's really no rotation on that top side. So FSI having to make a crash. Core, Toxic, or S9 maybe having to do the same here. It's not a prime position. There's a lot of hillside on the south end of the zone, but again, it's open space. But you're with 14 teams still up. It's now going to be a very difficult spot for all these teams outside the zone.
This is now timing, okay? Like Core, for me, I've literally just asked in chat who's IDL because Core chatted in the other guys, Silence and Rocco must be in chat. But Core for me got to sit tight here, and then they've got to play in and off of this hill. They've got to hold their ground. It's going to be a hard fight, okay? I believe Team 14 BHE might get stuck here. Teams will start pushing in. I think all these other teams are going to real descend on Potato Hill, and it's going to be a fight for that top.
It's going to be a fight for that south side top hill, man. It's honestly, and when you look at the play right now, honestly, it's just going to come down to bloodbath. Who gets there last, I think, is going to potentially come out on top, which is not what we're seeing.
Earlier, right? We said about core rotations. Core first, second, third zone, really, really good, really great plays, right? We're in phase 4 to 5, and this is kind of where core failed. They need to stop and think faster. They stop, think, and play on what they normally do, which is that fast speed rotation. If you're not rotating 6 kills, I feel like core's just going to now.
Ooh, Fury, baby. Takes down.
It's just Potato Hill fighting now.
Yeah, and that's it. They're making their way, and they take down their first squad, Tog, who was trying to make that position in. LTR still there at the top of the hill. King of the castle right now. Core making their way in off the compounds here, coming through. It's Toxic. It's a 1-for-1 trade out. Hyphy. Both for Rawls of the IGL now down and out, starting to feed the team here towards the rest of this direction here. It's going to be safe for Rez behind the vehicle, but Zabu will confirm Hyphy there before the pickup is good for Pride. So now the pressure really starting to come alive for Toxic, because S9 could easily walk behind them and third part of this fight. And if I know them being the team they are, they may potentially pull back, but it looks like they're actually getting into it with LTR. So more teams back and forth here. Look at this hill. There is 2 teams back-to-back battling one another here. LTR v S9 as LTR walks right through S9.
Potato Hill fighting. Core need to stop. They need to stop pushing up. Let it go. Hold your ground. Don't let Toxic come down. Let Toxic get sucked into that battle in the north side.
And unfortunately, they do lose Ralza there. That's now just 2 members still up for core. After they lost one a little bit earlier, Trace wasn't able to make it up the rotation here into the hill. So now it's a 2v3. They're inside the zone, but both teams having to make the rotation into this next phase 5. It's, again, that same retail. They at least have the shack and a little bit of something to work for now, but BHE ready to meet them here inside the middle of that zone. Again, just trying to avoid angles from every different team. So many teams will have eyes onto that eventually, but apartments, honestly, is what I'm most concerned about, because if it doesn't finish here...
Sitting here watching, right? Why you been up there? Because I want to say, because you're watching that one, but Snow are fighting neck and hook and by crook is maybe the better way to say it. They've been pushed in. OBZ there, just holding the line. They lost a player. They've got one. They haven't got one back. They are just trying to not get caught out here. I think we're going to see a few more teams crash in and just try and hold these. Rosen needs to tag up with his team and let the other flat go. It's going to be a bit of a bloodbath now. And again, I was watching on the big map. Core need to stop pushing up. They need to sometimes think that not going up is going to be the right play now. Let's back off a bit and let's move our way back into zone a little bit better.
Slow the play down, man. Like I said, they've got 2 up. They've got a few kills here. They didn't get to see it, a top 8. Actually, I think they got out in 7, so it'd be better to see them at least in a top 8 position again. Here back to back, because there's LTR starting to take care of Toxics. That does open the door, at least for Core, to have a little bit of breathing room now with teams starting to get taken care of pretty much, upon the sides of them. They're now just having to worry about NFS, which is pretty much at the head where they're starting to rotate into, but BHE, kind of taking care of their attention for right now, so that allows Core to kind of walk into that backfill of the position right there. Now kind of focusing the attention here, still up top with LTR and Toxic. LTR will have to come down off the top of the ridge here towards the middle of that zone, and Toxic right there at the edge of the zone, ready to make this and meet their acquaintance here. Sly will fall. LTR, good shots. That's a confirmation there on that kill. Both to fall. That's Virus from the bottom. Nuts to get taken down as well. And man, this is just shot for shot. Z-Clan coming alive, and they're about to not only take down Toxics, but they're about to take down LTR as well. There's just one member left up there for Toxic atop. It's going to be Pride. Can he stick the res here on the boat before the pressure from Z-Clan gets there, is the question. Looks like he will stick that down here towards the bottom. TPG having a hard time at making their rotation in now off the Blues as that compound started to get pushed out of phase 5. 30 seconds to see phase 6. Bradder's on one end, Hutter here at the bottom. It's not looking great for these teams. There's so much action inside phase 5, and we still have 3 more zones to pop.
It is just a bloodbath. Oh, get some kills.
Haywers.
Let's go, Snow.
Coming alive, baby. Molotov's coming through. He's at least able to get one. Slowly but surely trying to even the playing field here. FSI just outside the zone. That phase 6 will shift. It's actually going to pull a lot of the attention still here on the apartments. But again, with everybody kind of rotating where they're at, the vehicles seem to be destroyed at this point. So nobody really having to make a deep rotation. It's now on foot with all the smokes and GTS. Just nowhere to go here. Both TS14 and Very already taken down here in the mix. These 2 players just left up, surviving inside the shack. They've got great position. So as long as nobody pushes that shack, they should be good to survive for another phase here.
Yeah, we're seeing a big more battle coming out the hill now. See, we've got Team 4 now trying to make the play down. Full Team BHE losing one to hold out against Team 10 and FS. By Snow actually from the flats. But I think we're going to see Team 6 and 18. Toxic and Core make the big rotation. Coming behind Team 4. It's going to be a bloodbath. All about timing.
It's all about timing in this circle is exactly it. You can push a little bit too soon, get caught between 2 teams, or you can wait it out, right? Wait for another team to come down. Or again, it all depends on how teams are playing, how players rotate, and the position of these players in each setting. I look at Core right now, and they're so far out along with Toxic. Both teams just kind of hitting the edge of the zone, walking their way in at every chance given. And you know what? That's about all you can do at this point. Side walks right into MW. That's Groza to come out the window. Slaps with some help right there. Gets both those kills. Now looking towards TPG. BHE going to lose Kizza as well. That's just one member left up for BHE there on the hill. As Slaps gets some good shots, he's going to almost find the knock on the GTS. Lil Gurf able to find the knock on a TPG, but not get traded out in the meantime. As he gets picked up, knocked again instantly. Hutter there with the VSS, but he's spotted out by Grota.
TPG sniping the grass. It was designed for that. It was like they got rolling in.
Absolutely insane, man. He waited for that one play, at least gets the knock, but unfortunately does not get the kill. Z-Clan now takes care of Toxics, looking to find Core here at the edge. Core has some ideas as to where the team is. Virus looking to trade shots back and forth with seconds here, but no knock to come through on either side. As it's still Core having to make the rotation here a little bit further inside the zone. 4 members still up for the Z-Clan. BHE to fall there in a 9th, and 8 teams now remain. Placement points starting to come through as we look for our next team to fall 1 for 1 in 7th and 8th.
NFS now on the backside of Core, they're gonna have some difficulty. It's just unlucky Core just had that that one last little bit that they tried to get through, but because of the bad terrain, they weren't able to capitalize on that fight between Z-Clan and Toxic.
And it's unlucky. They're at least inside the top 8 yet again here. They're having to kind of hug the edge and make the rotations in. They're slowly finding some movement here, but again, as NFS kind of creeps up on their back, they're hugging that edge of the zone. Teams seemingly making this right to left rotation at the top side of this hill. It's causing Core to now be in a sandwich between both teams. There's Palou from one side, gonna find the knock, confirming the kill as well. Din should be looking in this angle as well, but he's actually looking at Z-Clan, so he's gonna find the knock with some help coming out there from Gurf down from the bottom.
Core taking 7th though.
And that's it. Core down in 7th. 2 teams back-to-back eliminated as we now have 6 teams remaining. Care Pack in the middle to kind of spice things up there for these teams to kind of push into that if they do want some fresh gear. In the meantime, the rest of the Z-Boys here looking like they are going to reset. Virus back up. Care Pack right in the vicinity. GTS still with 2 up inside the shack. 2 kills on board.
I'm still putting my money for the guys in the field. I know it looks bad at the moment, right? But the zone's got to come out of that flat, and getting stuck in those flats, if the team's in the right position, it's going to cause head on earth for them.
It's not good if you're anybody but GTS, because they're the only team with hardcover. I mean, the teams inside the apartments, like I said, are eventually going to have to come through, but easily enough, GTS still could see Phase 8 here inside this shack.
They're getting... Oh, I don't know about that.
Here comes Virus. From the side, Santa just not quick enough to stop the thirst. GTS falls down out with a little bit of fire, some fury, and the Z-Clan GTS in the bag. MW here making the move, trying to keep Z-Clan out. FSI holder holding back. Does not want to push forward. If he does, Busted will eventually have to fight all 4 teams here, but it looks like he's going to hold tight. Maybe see FSI inside the top 2 yet again, back-to-back games.
Impressed by MW at the moment. Good play. They're trying to get out the flat, but Ice Slap is trying to get some kind of bits outside, so I'll give him that. I feel like this next zone is going to shift all 3 of these teams together. Holder's been told to go get a cup of tea and sit tight.
That's it, man. He said you better live true to your name today, man. I don't know where you got that name from, but hopefully
Oak door.
That's it, man.
Like, don't get me wrong, the flats are destroying teams up. If the teams at the top can survive, if their clan, for example, can hold now, they're going to be such a strong position. They just can't, they've got to relieve the pressure here.
We'll go right here.
I'm going to have to try and find a way out.
I'm going to look at right here in the middle of the zone for everybody just to kind of see what these teams are looking at. You see down there Z-Clan at the edge of the zone. NFS not actually in. They're going to lose Rodder, so it's going to be just Dins. That's a one-man push coming down the hill with MW. The last team having to move this control from this Phase 8 compound is absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's Bearkai to find Rodders confirming that kill. They have such good control over the hill, and then Slaps and Bearkai both won't have to come down off this roof, at least until maybe about the last minute or so of Phase 9.
Slaps doing well. They're getting some great shot on Z-Clan there. They're actually really destroying their ability to move around in the space. I'm going to try and explain that.
There goes Yams. He's going to spot Dins out here. Can he get these few shots? He's going to wait for him. Plays it patiently, just not able to find the knock, but this opens it up for MW to kind of look down onto Snow's position. They find the knock. Holdar is coming alive through the back, trying to find some damage, but Anna up top is going to spot him out there. Good shots from Anna there. So that's FSI down and out in fourth. Top 3 teams remaining here. It's Z-Clan, NFS, and MW. All teams looking for that first chicken dinner here of the event. So far, we've got A-Wars able to get the res here from Yams, but MW just waiting for them to make the rotation as Slaps just slapping with the SLR. Groza some help, and then turning with the AK. No, that was it right there, man. Well played. That was about as good as you can get in that situation. But MW, they are in a powerful position right now, man.
Yeah, teams on the hill just unable to get down.
Oh, Groza.
Basically, all of the teams just
Oh, Groza.
Oh, my jeez.
You absolute monster, Groza. I love to see that. Plays it patiently.
This is going to be 11 kill chicken dinner, mate.
And that's right there. That's exactly what this team is going to need to put them back up. They've been doing pretty well thus far in the competition. They're in 4th place coming into today's competition. I'm not sure how well Game 1 fared for them, but this is enough to potentially put them into a 2nd place, maybe even a 3rd of the day.
Oh, I can't.
Slaps. Good shots with that AK. Woo-hoo.
I've been watching Slaps for maybe the last 10 minutes of that, mate, and
absolutely insane.
Jeez. Jeez.
Well played. Bearkai, excellent performance for your team there. Way to lead them to victory. That pull up initially on that apartment building to secure that amongst the 3 other teams was absolutely the reason you guys won that match right there. That building you guys pulled up just happened to be literally the center of that zone. You guys capitalized, took the kills, and that is a well-deserved M-Way victory there with 11 kills and 21 points. Back for game number 3 here in just a bit.
So it shouts out to my enemies. I know that they envy me, but I'ma be the MVP. Yeah, I know that they watching me. Yeah, so it shouts out to my enemies. I know that they envy me, but I'ma be the MVP. Yeah, I know that they watching me. I said fuck them 9 to 5. Gonna go get it on my own. Gonna move away from the place I used to call my home. And they said when I make it up, better not act so unknown. Why they acting like they know me now? I know they same ones that was talking all on my name. They hit me up constantly, always out here trying to hang. But you just know my bro, you ain't part of the gang. Yeah, you was just dead to me, you was just my enemy. So it shouts out to my enemies. I know that they envy me, but I'ma be the MVP. Yeah, I know that they watching me. Yeah, so it shouts out to my enemies. I know that they envy me, but I'ma be the MVP. Yeah, I know that they watching me.
All right, everybody, and here we are back for the only match of the night on Miramar. Get to see that sand map one time and one time only before we go back to the beautiful green map of Erangel. And it looks like we've got quite a few teams dropping off. And you know the story how it goes, Mark. We got these teams here that play well on Erangel, and you got those teams that play well on Miramar. Who do you think?
It's always pondered me while we play Miramar. I must admit, I'm quite a basic guy. If anyone that knows me, for me personally, as much as I do like the map from a hosting point of view, I prefer 4 angles. But you are right. Some teams do play better on Miramar. Maybe because it's bigger, maybe because the rotations are really different. I just find it a weird one. I'd love to know what people think about it in chat. They think it should be more of a 4 angles. Miramars, like what's their thoughts? And obviously, we don't see any other maps being rotated either. So it's great for hosting, though. I will say that we are going to see some people die in rotation.
Man, the one thing that I wish that we would get is, you know, some Vikendi inside some tournaments, man. You get some esports loot on Vikendi and let us open up a whole nother ball game of rotations, of end game comps, of just, you know, PUBG as we know and love it. You know, I've never hosted a match over Vikendi. Never.
No, same. Must admit, I've played I played them because I played in the official console PUBG EU tournament, and obviously that had the Vikendi, and a lot of teams struggled because just something we don't play. Sandhawk, again, another interesting one. Really tight, really small. Everybody plays off the blue. Everyone.
And then the big thing about Sandhawk too is when you get that in the mix here. I mean, some players, are just not necessarily hiding in the bushes, but there's so many trees, so many bushes. When you're running through as a full 4-man, you don't catch somebody till all of a sudden the bullets start flying past your face, and then all of a sudden, you're in a 4v4 fight in the middle of the jungle, and you got rocks, trees, bases, everything all over it. Again, counts those shots for those players who hit those first 3-4 shots and able to find that knock, and it's a different style of warfare.
Obviously, we know everyone here can shoot, right? Some people are better than others, and there is always an element of that. But something with Sandhawk, I think it really highlights teams that have great communication. Not just communicating where to go and where to rotate, but actually picking down and breaking down fights. You've got to remember, one team with another team, it's 4 guns on 4 guns. Everybody has the same life. Everybody's shooting bullets, hopefully. But technically, it's still 4 on 4, okay? So in that instance, if you can work out the basic maths and put 2 guns on 1 person or 3 guns on 1 person and get that person out, you then make it a 4 on 3, and it becomes a maths game. So teams with great comms break down interactions with other teams like that, and I suppose bully. They bully certain players out quite quickly, so they put the favors of the odds on their side.
That's it. A lot of people don't understand the other side of things here, and that's not just the fact that you need to be a great shooter, right? You don't need to just hit every shot. You got to take that extra step to actually get in depth with the game. Think about the rotations, think about the angles and the times to shoot, because again, there is more opportunistic times to shoot. There's more times where you're going to knock maybe a big player on a team and you're like, we need to push that. We need to push that now because if they get this res, it's a completely different story. It all comes down to reading the kill feed and playing at your team's best strengths, because not every team is an aggressive team, and not every team is a passive team. If you're playing passive games, a lot of teams who are just big shooters and big players need to be constantly moving, need to be constantly aggressing forward. And when they get caught standing still is when you start to see them kind of suffer. So, it all comes down to you and your team, how you guys want to play, not only in this lobby, but in other lobbies as well, because this one lobby may work out for you to play a certain style. And then the next lobby, in a different event, in a different league, you may just see yourself having to switch things up yet again and reconsider a few different strategies.
100%. Sure. We've seen FSI lose one early with Core. Project 7 in a great spot. I don't think they need to move. They just need to defend. A lot more teams are going to have to start rotating in. We've got FSS really quite far out, and same as TOG. They need to really break down how they're going to get into this.
Nice little pull up here. I'm peeking back over here at the leaderboard here after at least the 2 games are able to be updated. So our first 2 games of the night are in there. And after that victory right there, Mway is able to come through. They do end up on top here. So that's Mway now in first, jumping 3 positions from the first game of the night. Now jumping another 2 positions to take over first place. P7 starting off the day here, who was originally in first, is now pushed down to third after Takeover Gaming finds themselves enough points to take over P7. So it's now Mway, TOG, and then P7 leading off day number 2 here into game 3. So those 3 teams looking to capitalize some points. We've been looking at Core trying to find their momentum, but even though they do make some late game appearances, they've dropped 2 positions off that last game from 6th down to 8th now, along with FSS, who was in 4th, now moving down to 6th there, as we see Snow, Z-Clan, and a few other teams just starting to find their rhythm here in day number 2.
But at the end of the day as well, some teams will really change their mindset of where they land in the final quadrant, because they think, okay, we're now over halfway. This technically is going to be the halfway map between the last and this one, but we're over halfway potentially, and are we going to play next week out as strong as we can do? No. Are we happy to sit mid-table? Yes. And then they change the dynamic of play. And actually, one game completely changed. You just said there, one game just changed MW approach to it, and they've gone flying up the table.
They have been picking themselves up. That is 5 places climbed in one day. on the top of the leaderboard. And we're not talking about the bottom 8. We're talking about the top 8, where you know teams are still scoring points. Teams are finding potential, except for P7. And that's not me to talk down about it, but they've been struggling today to put up points. But every other team is still putting up some points here. So you know that that's just your team finding even more points than the team that is above you to still climb those charts there again. And it's just multiple teams making the climb. FSI had a great first game, not so great of a great second game. But again, they're kind of maintaining. They're picking up the charts here. A couple of other teams who have expected not really to see LTR on that side of the list after a great first game there, they're still sitting on the bottom 8.
Rotation kills now.
Yeah, S9, GTS, and Z-Clan all in the mix here. It's about to be a bad spot for GTS. Virus taken down by Arrow, though. This is knock for knock on all 3 different fronts. One member, and that's Arrow, really, really far. Thankfully enough, he's a key factor right now for GTS. But had he not got that knock there on a Virus, GTS would have been a whole different world of hurt. But right now, both teams getting a chance to get the reset. Barry's back on his feet. Dape is back on his feet. Virus is inside the smoke, and it looks like Machine taking the 1v1 with Scummy. Actually is going to come out on top there. That eventually get knocked there from the back there. Santa comes through, finds the knock there also onto Scummy. The trade 1-for-1. Fury to be taken down by Very. And this is now Santa pressing forward to stop the res onto Scummy, but Fox just there with the AK, and he puts him down. Z-Clan should have played that a little slower, and they probably could have won not only the fight against S9, but also got some kills against GTS as well. Pulling it back, Scummy to be confirmed here. That's GTS. Another kill in the bag right there. As we look for S9 rotating back, they're going to pull back. They do win the fight initially against Z-Clan, but now they have to re-rotate. They lose Scummy, and then GTS inside the Vic should probably full send it, or maybe they're going to take the chance to rotate away as well. Just that, it's still phase 1. They say, hey, we got some kills. We're going to pull off there. And they do rotate.
Choice by them.
Very smart, man. That right there is a tactical choice if I've ever seen one.
Good timing. Looked at this in the first round where we saw the BHE pushing out of the observatory. That's the type of timing they needed. What they saw from GTS there. Just got involved in the fight, raped in the kills, cleared the team, get back to the compound.
And just that, both teams played that, I think, about as fantastic as they could, man. No better plays really could have came out of there. If they would have been able to both stay 4 up, would have been even better. But you know what I mean? Losing one member on either side of that fight, not the worst thing that could have happened in a situation like that when 3 teams sitting inside the open right there, and then other teams still rotating around them. Could have easily been bad for all 3 of those teams. So luckily enough for GTS and S9, it's just Z-Clan to take the loss and be out of the lobby here. Not even 10 minutes into the game here before phase 1 could even close. FSS struggling on the rotation as well, but somehow able to drive right past MW with no shots actually being taken onto the vehicles there. So still 4 players up, stopping to look back now on MW as MW is inside the vehicles with outside control of the zone now. They look like they want to center themselves up a little bit better here after the zone for phase 2 does shift. They waste no time, and they're going to take that full rotation in with LTR keeping vision. Iceman will get taken down there. Unfortunately there for LTR. That's toxic. He must have been a little bit further away from the squad there because the remaining 3 LTR members are all still here on the hill. So he must have been scouting ahead there trying to find some retail, and it just does not work out for LTR there. That rotation, if you're looking at that phase 2 shift mark, is high north right there. I don't know if you're used to this is a shift right here. If we do come back towards Monte Nuevo, man, one of the most exciting finishes I think we actually get inside of the Miramar, you know, aside from a few of the other city finishes. But Monte Nuevo, one of my favorite endgame finishes, with there being so much different locations, buildings, streets, and just cover. Honestly, I hope that we do get the pull in that general direction to kind of give us that Monte finish.
I think you'd be right. If I might put somewhere between Monty and FSI. So you know, it's like that open field with power grid. It might end either side of that sort of south road. I definitely think we're going to see a pull. But really interestingly, all of the teams apart from one really are in this lower quadrant of the game. Actually, say 2. So T17 and 10. Everyone else is, I would say, mid to low, fighting out for a very, very small space here.
FSI is not in a good spot here. Holdar's about to get taken down. Somehow he's going to get out of that vehicle. Almost gets blown up right there. But you know what? Holds it out right, but eventually is spotted out by P7. Gets away from Snow just to be third-partied out by Project 7. This rotation right now into Phase 2. Easy enough for a lot of teams, but this Phase 3 is going to be detrimental. We have no teams on the north end of the circle aside from FSS and NFS, so any type of north side shift is going to put a lot of these teams in absolute rags right now.
Just going to get small, and don't forget, through that middle section there, that's all mountain. So from core through to TPG, that's all uphill and downhill. So it's going to be the guys that are just south of that, they're going to have to fight for some dips, like crevices. TPG sitting in the compound, OPZ compound, FSS look like they're playing for a compound now, but I think they're moving a little bit. I think they're chunking off a bit too much. It's going to allow Team 10 to get in if the zone does shift. Expect Project 7 to go back into Monty and try and control at that crossroads. It just depends on this next shift. If it comes south, then Project 7 have got to work their way through, not just FSI, but also Snow.
And that's a good shot right there. I mean, when you look at teams having to make the rotation through other teams there and just seeing this certain position, you talked about FSS kind of rotating a little bit further in the zone, which definitely pays off for them. But the only thing that doesn't pay off in the respects is that there's no other teams to keep NFS from rotating even closer. So that, again, that allows an easy backfill for NFS to kind of position themselves into that south shift if it does happen. And then in this next second, we do see the south shift.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of...
I wouldn't have put it there. I would have put it a little bit north of that. I thought FSS might still be in, and we might see a finish in between maybe them, OPZ, Project 7, that crossroad area. But that is horrible.
I 100% agree. And I honestly thought NFS would still get a little bit of love inside that. I was more worried about the east side, but I did not expect that north side to be so vacant and so just kind of left apart there. Great read from all 15, or I should say 14 teams kind of being on this south end right there. NFS, probably no other real options right there. So this is just a great read from these teams, understanding this circle where it all seems that they're kind of comfortable making the plays right here. Is Phase 3, Phase 4 going to be absolute bloodbath. Casualties will be left and right, and it's going to be an absolute catastrophe for these teams that can't seem to find themselves either with room from other teams or hardcover compound and just kind of keep their head down, waiting for the next few phases to pop and allow other teams to kind of fight one another.
You know what, this zone could do well though. I think this is going to really favour Core. Core are not going to have to rotate on the parts. They're going to rotate on the slow that rotation down. I think they're going to, like they just done now, clear out Tog. If they play it right and don't push in too far, feel like they take next fight with BHG. Then they win that fight for that sort of southeast corner. They then work their way through the pack and just pick up the kills as long as they don't push too far ahead. I think big number here, big money going to go on for me for Core, and potentially Toxic. But I don't understand where Boat's going. That's maybe not a good bet.
Good shots from Bradders there. FSS has pulled up on the TPG there. They're trying to take the compound from them. The first knock comes through from Bradders on a 10P. Hunter caught inside. The UMP is able to find the first knock, but Antology there to follow it up with the AK. Trades that shot instantly down to Qumi as he's looking for TPG on the push to hold for FSS to get the rest. FSS will get the rest here onto Arminis, giving them back up to 3 players, but Tempe still inside the smoke, looking to potentially get picked up. Not confirmed yet, but TPG holding their angles. They're not coming out of the compound. There is MW looking down onto the fight from up top, as well as Team 18 and Team 6. So this fight, definitely not an easy one to win for either of these teams here. Here's shots from the side as well. I believe that's OPZ. They got to be looking at this as well. Seeing all the smoke here in the shots, the utilities. There's so many different teams with angles onto the fight. There's CJ Bradders to come through. That's TPG, third-party game and teamwork at its best right there. Shot for shot. They're going to find Arminis right out the door. The second knock to confirm as well. As Tempe looks like he will get bled out there. TPG going to get credit for 2 kills here. A grenade to find a knock onto Antology as GTS takes down LTR in the distance. It's just Qumi left up for FSS. TPG needs to pressure this. They need to finish this fight off now, because if they waste any more time here, the res is going to come through, and it's again another 3v2 fight for FSS to take with TPG, but that's just exactly what happens. And we now have Antology back on his feet.
We're going to see if the rest of the Core boys like traits here. He's been caught out by BHE. He's trying to recall back. Sabu needs to just hold off BHE and let his boy get up. Looks like he might have got away with it. Core needs to hold this corner. It's gonna be great. Project 7 making the push in as well. Snow just holding ground. NFS are stagnant. They're stuck.
That zone right there after the phase 3, the phase 4, not much friendlier, man. Busted. This is a lot of teams here having to kind of really shift, and nobody's been comfortable this entire game. Core making rotation as well inside. Finally, a phase 4 where they look comfortable, and they may see themselves a few more games. There's the Ralza knock on the Fox right there as they're getting into it with S9. TPG finally breaking out. Bradders gets the confirmed kill onto Kimi there as Anthology pushes through. Bradders going for the heal right here. He should be able to get it off, but Anthology there at the top of the stairs, the 1-for-1 comes through. It's Bradders to come out on top, baby. TPG, Third Party Gaming, wins the fight up front. No help from the side. It's just them. TPG, 4 kills on the FSS there, and they now maintain control here of the compound. Just outside this northeast side of the zone is OPZ. Fool sends it. They realize they don't want to fight with TPG. They'll continue to rotate past MW. A little bit closer to Toxic as well as Snow. And it looks like Team 10 on the pull up here towards the back. Going to get caught out by Toxic. Good shots come through as NFS, after sitting so far out in the side of the zone, may be able to come back and pull through here at the edge of the zone. They do find some sort of place to stop. A little bit of a valley, the ridge. It's enough for right now.
Core holding out BHE well. We've just seen a crash from GTS, the third party gaming. So straight off the pack at 1-5, Team 15 back in it again.
Ooh, man, BHE, just no rotation in. There's the last shot to come through. Traits and Zabu, 9 kills for Core this game, baby. Let's go. Core woke up on Miramar, and again, they may have had some mediocre games on Erangel. This time around, coming out with an absolute performance. 9 kills with 33 players still up. So much more action. Back to the fight with TPG here with GTS. We're looking at the res already coming through there onto TS14 as TPG does find the first knock, but they allow the res yet again. So this is now a 3v4 for TPG to take here with GTS. Again, the third-party shots from all over are ultimately TPG's help.
I'm surprised Brad didn't throw the molly into the building. He opted to find molly very across open ground. He had too much space. He should have stuck it in the building, at least really condense GTS' ability to move around and get angles out those windows and doors.
100%, man. Sometimes you're just in that moment. You're scattered, your brain. You know, you're just throwing, you're tossing, you're trying to make it happen. And I think, like I said, yeah, it's just one of those moments. The crash for crash, like you said, they just finished the fight with FSS. GTS says, hey, that looks good. We'll take that. OPZ still there from the side, getting into it with GTS. But there's TS14 giving some answers right there, shutting them down, at least denying some of the shots to come through. Is at least they'll have to stick the res there, slowing that pressure from the side.
Game, they need to tighten up. They're spreading out a little bit here, but they've got the zone shift, same as NW and Toxic, give or take. Rest of the teams now are fighting for next to no land. It's all that north and round, that northwest round to northeast.
Ooh, Groza.
The rest of it's open and flat. It is going to be third party central, and GTS are the first to go on that comment.
That's it, man. It's the third-party city coming through, man. Arrow gets caught out by MW. They've been looking on this fight the whole entire time. That's the first knock, the first confirm. They actually get out of the fight here. But they've definitely been looking down Core as well after winning the fight there against Team 18. Now looking to fight these teams coming up the ridge. TPG and GTS really not in a great place to make it in as Very comes through. Gurf will find CJ and Bradders to be taken down as well. Very with some credit for the help there as well as TS14 comes through to find the final member of TPG. It's McLovin to fall in 10th there for third-party gaming. GTS now making the rough rotation in with MW there to gatekeep. They should be able to stop this team from finding in, but there's a little bit of ridge for GTS to work with. They just have to make it there.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be back up now. Core needs to put out on their own against S9. Tying back up, putting the teamwork, putting the shift in these guys trying to control this one out. NFS, you know what, take my hat off. I thought they were in a dead zone sitting in Monty, but they've done a good rotation. They've pushed him for the compound. I think they might struggle if they lose to get out of there. But actually, do you know what? It's a good rotation for them.
And then GTS denies every little bit of points right there. Doesn't want to even give anybody points. Team kills all 3 members right there. Sacrifices 3 members, realizing they have nowhere to go right there. That right there is absolute intelligence right there. Because again,
game.
long game. There you go.
A tournament, not a single day event. S9 out in 8th.
That is a great end gameplay, great long gameplay, man. That right there could definitely help. We see often, man, these tournaments come down to a few kills here at the end, and that right there could easily be GTS's victory or GTS's, you know, positioning over one other team there with them few denied kills. You kind of wonder why until you start to see the points and how close they are towards the end. Then you start to understand a little bit more as to why teams do things like that. P7 right here with Toxic. They're both neck and neck here at the ridge. They peek, they go back, they peek, they go back. Nobody's actually left their head too long. They're at the top, so the knock's really not coming through on either side. But it's a 4v4. It's a stalemate. Grenades being tossed.
Pride to keep him P7 in. They've really tried to get up and over and take the shots on the approaching Toxic team. But Pride has held his ground. He's allowed the rest of his team to move up. Now, admittedly, he's not hitting all his shots. I'm watching him at the moment. It's pretty bad. But he's got 3 of his team in. It's now up to the rest of the team. It's got to be a 3-on-4, and they've got to be able to get down there.
Oh, man, I definitely understand that. They had to hit those shots on the hash right there. After all the work that Pride just did to get those 3 members to the front line right there, that knock had to come through. Unfortunately, they don't find the knock, and now P7 not so much feeling the pressure anymore. They're starting to aggress over the top of the hill as Entels now denies the anchor. He's going to find Pride. It's a 2v3 with this team. This P7, it looks like Ember's coming to make it a 2v4 here. The Red's not going to come through. Slide and fall. Hyphy on the rotation to get away. Is he able to find at least one member of P7? The 1v1 with Embers. He comes up, gets the knock, goes for the flush, gets it. And then Entel's here at the top. Hash from the side. GG's Toxic. P7 out on top.
Now.
MW.
No break here.
Negative.
He's out on his own.
Groza to find him. MW with already 2 losses with Core finding those first great shots onto the knock there. But that's it, man. We pull back.
Core's game at the moment, I think. They're a little bit split, but they just need to.
They need to group
into the rhythm, get tightened up. They'll be all right.
With 5 teams still remaining, yes, they need to group up. I think is your exact call right there. And if they can do that, they may be okay. They do lose one. Shep gonna steal Zabu away.
MW getting back up.
Surprised to see they got both those reses there inside the smoke. Nobody's pressuring. P7 allowed it to happen after seeing what happened. They do get a chance to reset themselves. Again, after losing 1 here, they still have to make the rotation in with MW just over the top. And MW has ultimately the higher advantage here.
Core's leaving the MK. They're not taking the MK.
I've seen quite a few players actually walk right past it, man, which is surprisingly enough there. But yeah, it will get left. Oh, Entel's defined Bear Sky slaps already down. MW falling apart again. Speaker, you need to come through to find that knock. Core coming up from the back. They read what's going on here. They are not wasting any time as P7 does take down MW. It's Core over the top now looking to find P7 down and out the lobby here.
This is Core's game. Come on.
Trade's going to find Keezy here. These boys on fire. 12 kills here. They do lose Zabu in this fight here, but it's P7 beaten, battered, bruised. Grenades over the top there. Hash still alive in the smoke. Entel's down and around as he will find his way in that zone right there. Core has the upper advantage. Hash needs 1 shot to fall, and then Core will take down another squad. Hash will go down to the zone right there. This is just Entel's up here for P7. FSI to fall there in 4th, and it's 3 teams still remaining. Good nades come through. Third-party shots from NFS.
Go to zone. Go to zone.
Entels, it may be the end for you, and it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Core rotated too much around, so they got too much ground to cover to get back. Well timed though. Good timing from Team 10. They came out that compound at the right time. They took the fight with FSI while this whole battle was happening on the north. It gave them time to get out of a really dead situation. A lot of teams you would have seen still sitting in that compound by now.
And honestly, I don't want to hear any team say that they need circle love, because NFS has had no circle love this game and is still inside the top 2 here. They have made plays to get here. So, you know, even if they don't get the win, the 2nd place, well deserved. Good shot from Rexy. Finds the open up knock onto Ralza there.
Come on, Truck. Come on, Core. Let's go.
It's seconds and traits. They've got a fight ahead of them if they want this victory. They've got 12 kills, but 4 NFS members still ahead to deal with seconds. Needs to come up and find this knock on to Dids. If he can do that, at least slowing the pressure from NFS, at least puts the ball back in their court. Rawls to be confirmed. Seconds to open up onto Dids over the top. He's going to peekaboo. He's going to come back, eats the grenade, but does avoid the damage. Another one to follow there. This is Trace with some mollies to come try to find Dins, but Dins wraps right around. He's not going to get the knock.
Well, got to hold this mound for their life. Here comes Cruising.
Opens up some good shots there, but not enough to find the knock. Trace there for the return there.
Oh, they're grinding him down. They're grinding him down.
They're doing it right. Oh, Dids comes over the top. Finds one, finds two, baby. There it is. NFS. And you know what, Mark? They had it, man. They had it.
Did NFS have it, or did Core lose it?
Core had it, man. Because you called it, I think, seconds ago.
I agree. I think at the end there, I think because they had not a great first and second game, they're kind of like kill hungry. The kills were coming to them. We saw Zabu split off. There was a time that Trait split off and he was on his own. Core were just too spread out at the end there, and I think they were going for kills. If they stayed tight at the end, would they have maybe had 4 at the end? Potentially. You know what? Hats off. They done well, mate. And I think not having those cars in those zones 4, 5, and 6, their rotations were a lot better.
And just that, man.
NFS though didn't get a break, mate. I will give that to them. They had to fight. I wrote them off by zone 2 or 3. I thought they were going to get stuck in Monty and they couldn't get across that road.
I mean, because considering your call outs there, man, this is to talk down to you, but this is us as a host. Sometimes how much we read into the plays here, we can only look so much. We can see from the top, just like players can play from the game. We can only do so much, and we can only see so much. There's so much unexplained things like that NFS victory who just really made plays to come in there and make that happen, that just make this game still so much interesting and still make commentary that much harder for us.
Anyone's game, mate.
I mean, and it's games like this that I could seriously probably back-to-back, host and just continue to run games like that where you really get to challenge not only your team, but, ourselves as a host here, man, to see teams still coming up with, ideas to just maintain rotations and stick it to a team, because Core wasn't quiet. Core wasn't an FSI or wasn't, one of the teams who just made it up there with 2, 3, 4 kills and then found the kills at the end. They were progressively making their kills, stopping teams from making the rotations, and then finding these kills here in that late game. It's just unfortunate that when you called out the split, I think had they been grouped up prior to that, or maybe pushed that fight with Mway and P7 there as a full 4 rather than as the 2-2 split, I think the results there towards the end could have definitely been different in their favor, because they maybe moved it as a unit. I think that entire game until that fight.
Deadly as a unit, really deadly as a unit, and I think it. As you said, look, we can see everything that's going on, but we can only make our assumptions of why things are going on. And for me, it just looked like they were going for kills, and they didn't have to. That all 4 of them can shoot really effectively, but they can shoot a lot more effectively if they're together as a type 4. I just feel like they had that little bit of quiet time where the teams weren't coming in, and it was just crap. We need to get some kills. We need to get back into the competition with some points. So let's go chase down some kills. And it was just unfortunate Zabu got caught out on his own against a 4-man.
Just that, and then that good knock onto Ralta there, opening up from Rexy had he came over to the top. If Ralta would have found that first knock, even though there was 2 members there, it still could have potentially put the favor in Core. But if NFS, Rexy would have fell, Ralta would have had the 1v1 there with one of the NFS members, and then it could have potentially put that 2v2 and then made the 2v3 in play onto Core's favor. But, again, there's so many opportunities, Mark. I mean, we can call it. It all comes down to how these players play it. And that right there is the tail to take right there. NFS out on top right there, taking home the victory over the 12-kill Core. Well played, you guys. We'll be back. We're going to take a little intermission, a little bit less of an intermission this time. Lobby is already loaded up, so we're going to take a quick little intermission, maybe like a song or two, and we'll be back for game number 4, the 4th and final match of day 2. Don't go nowhere.
Cracky.
Jack it up.
All right, everybody, and here we are back for the fourth and final game of the night. Unfortunately for us, Elite Esports, BKG Mark, the man, the myth, the legend himself, has had to take leave for now, so it'll be just me for game number 4. Always happy to have you, Mark. Appreciate you joining in me for the first 3 games, dude. It was absolutely fantastic to have a co-host and have somebody to actually chat and talk crap with, man. So appreciate you being here, man. Hope all is well to you and the family again. To the new year, man. Hopefully we can continue to do more things like this through the year, because again, it's a different environment. It's good to have somebody to talk to, good to have some different feedback, and it's also good to involve the community all together here in one place, man. Again, EU community coming together. You know how we do. I've been here since day one for you guys here, and I know so has Mark. So has a lot of the other lads out here who still host, who have had to step back from hosting. You know what? We are just one big community here. So you know what? Appreciate all you guys for being here. Every follower counts. Every bit counts. And this is just unfortunate for Arminus. Leave this man alone. He's just trying to have a game and not get taken down. He's running away from Driz. Driz is just making him work for his rotation. He's going to get tapped right there, but not enough to get the knock. One more will do it. He's juking him left for right. Nuts is on the approach. Arminus is on the run. And this is just not good for FSS. Where's the team? Arminus, look out, mate. He's behind you. Just run. Fool, send it. Get out of there. Here comes Nuts. Here comes Iceman. Get to the shack. He's on the table. He's safe for res. Arminus, get out of there, man. Oh, he got the molly, too. Jeez, that could have been it for Driz there. Had he got that molly and tossed it on the front of the car, that would have been a GG's right there for LTR. But FSS going to lose one as the LTR drives back in. They'll maintain their control here of Lipovka. Ooh, just a second, everybody. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Had to take care of a little business there, get my daughter off the bus. My little one is waking up, and we're back here for Challengers League Season 2, game number 4. The end of day 2 near in store here. As again, guys, make sure you check out tomorrow. If you guys aren't already here and you guys haven't already signed up, which there's not a lot of signups, get signed up for the giveaway games tomorrow, guys. We have an event to be played tomorrow. Just hoping to be able to give something back to you guys. I don't want to have to push it back. I want to put on an event and be able to give stuff back to you guys. So please, 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 please be sure to get you as a solo signed up. We're not having specific teams. It's not centralized to just one, S9 or Purge or Z-Clan or whatever team. You can sign up as a solo, join whatever squad you want at whatever time during this tournament. the whole idea is just to keep games on and to keep the viewers entertained as we do the giveaway. So, you know, in a little bit different games, it's going to be some fun custom games. There'll be some different game options there. It's not going to be like regular PUBG where we're used to just the regular games here. I'm going to have some custom game settings to kind of spice things up and keep everybody entertained. So please be sure to check into the Cold Crew exclusive channel. Be sure to sign up in the SSL Discord, !SSL, and you'll get the link to that Discord to bring you in, so that way you guys can get your team signed up and potentially have the chance to win some money, as well as win some giveaway prizes. Tumblers, rolling trays, koozies, all kinds of stuff to be given away tomorrow here on the channel. Please sign up for them games and make sure to be in the chat tomorrow, Cold Crew, as again, it is giveaway day tomorrow. We'll do one more live stream later to kind of hype up the event, but after that, we are going to kind of be back to just host. It's going to be host central Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully finding a host a day in order to put us back in the groove and back in the rhythm of things here. So happy to be back. Appreciate you guys all being here. As this is Z-Clan, they're going to pull up right onto NFS. Santa caught in a bad spot. The grenade comes out. Oh, proven. Santa gonna get the knock for knock, the trade for trade right there. My daughter's looking at me like I'm crazy. She's like, Dad, what's happening? And there's just a lot of intensity. Santa is gonna get picked up here by Proven. I'm not sure why he doesn't confirm that kill. NFS getting baited out. They're starting to come closer and closer here to the fight, but Machine is caught out there. Dins is gonna find the knock right there. Now it's 3v3 still as the res does come through there onto Santa. Machine is confirmed. Proven should get taken down as well, as it's a 3v3 between Z-Clan and NFS. Good spot coming out there from Virus, but just not able to find the spot to take the shot, so he's got to pull back. As it looks like NFS may be able to win this fight here. They've got now in control of the 2-stack. A great grenade thrown out again from NFS. The utilities are just on point after the victory here. They're looking to come through out on top. The knock already to find Santa, as Blue will confirm Proven there, feeding out information the entire time. They should have done that a long time ago. It's now 2 members left up for Z-Clan. Virus almost to be taken out. Good shots coming out there from Dids. He's going to find him. As Rexy to hold him, he's going to confirm that kill onto Virus. Blue inside the buggy. He's sitting on the back. No, get in the driver's seat, mate. In the buggy. Down and out. He's going to find his way away there for the Z-Clan, as Rexy chasing him, trying to find this kill. He's got the green sweatsuit on. The shots come through. But Palou just not to fall. Makes his way away from the play right there. And that is the Z-Clan. 3 members down and out. Palou, the solo survivor, looking to find some rotation and maybe just some position to survive for now. Good knocks coming through. This is FSI. Been getting into it with OPZ here in the distance outside the zone. It's Braveheart to fall. Holdar to get the knock here onto Tech 9. Ooh, good shots from Holdar. He is at least able to win that 1v1 against Tech 9, giving FSI the chance to reset. But Alpha from the side for OPZ definitely looked in that direction, thinking, do I push up on this, close out the FSI fight? He says, no, I will continue to rotate and hold position, looking for placement, and then further kills here in the late game. We were talking about it there with Mark earlier on, how important it is for these teams to not only think about kills at the start of the match, but think about placement points towards the end, because there's so many teams with high kills, low placement, and there's so many teams with low placement and high kills. It takes both to be the victor here in a competition like this. There it is, coming out right now. Scummy to find and be confirmed. Yams as well. 1-for-1. S9 v Snow. So far, it's evenly matched. DJ O from the top should be able to find some angles as Dape will get spotted out. The Vecchi out on top. The grenade to come through from Dape to trade out the knock. 1-for-1. S9 and Snow going hand in hand for knocks right here, as Stelios debating whether or not he does come through to make this push. The Og to confirm Snow. Stelios with the smokes out, looking for some lethals, but he has none, so he's going to have to pull back, realizing he's gotten 2 kills. They've taken 2 losses. Play for the late game. That is my motto for the teams who watch back the stream. Play for the late game. Would be a huge game changer. Play for the long game. We just seen the talk of the trade right there. Exactly that happened in game 3, and it works out. You play for the long game. Play for the end. Don't just play for what you know is in front of you. Play for what could be. Good shots coming out there from Pride. He's going to get slaps out. That is a key factor for MW. When they lose slaps or when they lose Bearkai, honestly, it just sucks when you lose anybody, you know, a part of your team here. It makes the rest of the game that much more difficult. We've seen how much of a key factor Slaps was in game number 2 here for MW when they find the first victory of the night. Now it's coming down to the 3 members, the rest of M-Way having to perform and pretty much make up for the loss of one player there early on here in this game. To the side over here, GTS looking like they are actually going to make the hold here onto Liquid. I like the hold coming out from this team, but it's GTS here in the blues just outside of Yaz Naya with the phase 2 shift. It is going to pull up there, centering up Yaz, keeping this middle water here still in play. We see this circle so often on Erangel that these teams now have to know where they want to play, where other teams could potentially be. And as we get further and further here into the Challenger League, teams are starting to get more and more information onto one another here. And there's another loss for MW. Speaker this time to be taken down as GTS confirms that one right off the bat right there. M-Way nowhere to go here in this zone. Still outside, it's Groza and Bearkai struggling to find entry into this zone. Everybody playing the south end, assuming the worst, that it will pull down south here into Yasnaya, into this bottom Yasnaya fields, as well as maybe pull back to Core here at the gas station. Yet again, another great rotation call coming out here from Core as they will make the moves to take gas station, not only being in center of the zone, but also setting up for rotation kills here, even though there is no teams ready to cross. But if the circle does pull back up in the direction of the north side, Core in the best position to take rotation kills, not only from this bridge, but from the bottom bridge as well. So that's 2 different bridges in play there for Core to pick up kills there with that positioning. NFS yet again inside the center of the circle after taking down Z-Clan, positioned nicely and able to pretty much move up at their will, as long as another team doesn't position themselves here to the north of them. MW continuing to drive, still trying to find their home in the center of the zone. This time around, it's Iceman to shoot nuts through the window, looking to find the knock onto MW, but this gives room away from LTR as Z-Clan, the solo Paloo, gets another kill there for his team, leaving LTR kind of confused here. Like, what is Paloo even doing in here for the Z-Clan? Gro's going to have to pull up, turning right as Bearkai will get taken down from TOG. No home, no vacancy inside of Yasnaya here. Nade to get tossed in, shoots the window. Paloo holding the angle, not scared of that grenade. Won't even budge. Still waiting for the push to come through from Driz. And you know what? We talked about this as well. You don't want to push these buildings. Let it go. You lost a member right there. Unlucky. You don't want to take the chances to lose another. Let him just exist for right now. Just don't forget that he's there. Groza as well. 2 solo members here, both for Z-Clan and MW, just trying to survive. And LTR having the same mentality, wants to do the same, but you know, it's just not great for him. Groza's like, leave me alone, bro. Let me just survive. We've had no rotation. I haven't been able to stop, but Driz finally cooks up the right grenade right there, tosses it into the position, gets Paloo down, and you know what? A GG's there for him as he's gonna climb right on top of the body of Z Paloo there. Not only does he kill him, but he's gonna climb on top of the man and then take his loot. Z-Clan down and out in 16th. Rough finish to the day for Z-Clan. Tog in-game leader, he's looking to find his way in this building here, but they're just outside the zone with Yasnaya. That shift will pull its way down south. So everybody reading the circle right. Yet again, this is a circle we are very familiar in seeing, so nothing new here. Nothing to be expected as far as changes in that. So we will kind of just keep it cordial for now, as Iceman will find Groza there. That's MW down and out as well. Up to NFS here, as we can look at NFS as the 3-man steel holding center compound here after the victory here. In a great spot here, back-to-back games, and loving the fact that they're able to sit tight for now, but it's Toxics with this 2-2 split here on the hill. Great positioning as well. And then Core, yet again, with that 2-2 split, they'll pull off the gas station. There's nothing to gain from sitting up there at the gas station. Wasting no time, they'll pull up onto that hill where we just seen Seconds and Zabu as the full 4 and be ready for the potential shifts to pull down south. Another great position from Core here, and another great position from NFS here off of phase 3 rotations here. But again, This time around, it's a little bit different for NFS. They had a lot more work to do to get inside the zone for game number 3. This time around, the zone's coming to them. They're getting a little bit of love after a great crash and hold from Z-Clan right there. They're able to maintain that. That's Trace left out here by himself as TOG going to stop to take some shots. Trace really nowhere to go. His vehicle probably just taken down right there as they probably shot the tires first. No, still alive there. He's actually going to pull back, get into the water there as TOG not able to find the knock on a Trace. But they at least now have this is information as to where he could be. I don't know if I'm Tog. I'm pushing that. I know it's a solo. You got 4 players right there. I'm pushing that as the 3. Leave a 1 at the gas station. And we're getting that man out of here. If you let Trace get all the way back to core right now, again, you're just allowing this team to be even stronger. Rawls is about to open up shots. They're now about to anchor Trace into this. And if not, we may just see Tog fall here. They're not getting aggressive on the Trace. They're letting him walk, and he could easily walk up to the wall here. And it's just not... I just don't think greatly played by TOG, and maybe Trace doesn't have the intentions to actually crash, so it looks like he will pull back. So, Tog plays it right, Court plays it right. Neither players do take a loss, but, if I was Tog, I'm definitely setting. We're trying to get that 1 player out of the lobby, pick up that easy kill. It could have not been so easy because you see Core with the attention in that direction, but that just seems like the best thing, at least in that situation, trying to find some kills and maybe pick up 1 when you're being, when you're a little bit lower on the leaderboard. Or not lower on the leaderboard, when you're looking for those kills to put you back up in the top spot. Tog came into today inside the top 3. It just... Ooh, BHE down and out again. Radish and Vince both going to get taken down there in 13th. That's right. It was a loss of train of thought there seconds ago here as we just kind of bounce back to reality here. FSI in the Blues. They'll maintain the hold for right now, looking to find some rotation after phase 4. But they're in a nice position, so the rotation not necessarily needing to happen anytime soon. They'll play the south end. S9 will have to rotate, but there's actually a little spot for them to stop there. And they may be able to play that, waiting for FSI to move and then backfilling that same position. But FSI, being a team that likes to play the edge, will probably wait to see if it does shift. We'll sit there 1 more zone. FSS making the rotation. They're coming in towards GTS, and it looks like nowhere really to stop. They're going to have to play here on the ridge as Kumi's vehicle, 1 more shot would probably be the death of him inside the vehicle. So he's going to pull back, and they'll hold out right now, waiting for the phase 5 to shift, and then it's going to put GTS in a very problematic spot here as TS14 and GTS Light, or excuse me, Gurf, regrouping. Yeah, if I'm GTS, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm not wasting any time. Phase 4 is starting to close in. Snow will get found there, the last member for his team, and just not having the chance really to score any points today. Snow struggling to find any momentum, any rhythm inside today's games today, as again, they started off not in the worst spot. They are finding kills. They are finding potential, but that right there, probably the worst game in Snow's day today, as they climb 1 position there with 7 games being played. They're in 6th place. That right there may hurt them, leaving them out down into 7th or 8th. GPG continuing to rotate. Tog, in-game leader, will fall right there, but still able to pull up as the 3-man Tog makes it to the compound here, leaving Core there on the outskirts, at NFS there to coexist as well inside the other compound. Toxics and P7 looking to battle 1 more time here. Another repeat of match number 1 here. This time around, it's coming out to her. It looks like Entals and Keezy will spot out both there, but it's shots from the back as Hash looks to find Boat here at the top. Just not able to find the headshot over to the side there. FSI is still alive. S9 does take that compound at the bottom here. And if they're playing it right, they're starting to get aggressive. Fury. Yes, Fury. That's exactly it. Come through. Find this wrap. Don't let this fight conclude. Wait for the knocks to come through and involve your team right here. It's probably the best play for S9 to do. If you're P7, you want to take the fight ahead of you. Take the compound away from Toxics and then backfill away from S9. And if you're Toxics, you just need to hold this fight. You need to win this fight against P7. Boat doing exactly what he needs to do, keeping his information anchored to the rest of the team. But if he gets knocked here for Toxics, no chance for the Reds here. They will just have to play for the compound. So it is going to come down to how this does play out between Boat and the rest of P7. But S9 wastes no time. They see the chance to take some shots, and they're already there. So they're going to actually take this fight. There's the smoke for Fox trying to make sure he can get out of here, but they're not inside the zone. So this is, again, why you sometimes don't want to take this fight when you're not inside the zone already. Traits to find Pride there from the side as Toxic looking like they're in a bad spot now. If P7 decides to pull back over that direction, thankfully enough, S9 will take the direction and the attention of P7. Dave to fall right there. Fury to be taken down by Hash, and Keezy pressuring forward to find Fox here as he's trying to momentum. He doesn't want to leave the fight. He's trying to find the knock, and that's probably the best idea for him at the time. No, pulling back, he's confused. What do you do with this situation? Where's the pressure from P7? There it is. Finds Entels with the 1v1. Keezy from the side to find Fox right there. G to the G's. S9, well played, but again, timing is everything, and that right now was not the time to push P7. As Boat using this as an opportunity to potentially come through. He is going to spot out Embers. Maybe they're in the blue, looking to back behind P7. May find at least a knock, and then be able to confirm that flusher as the blue kind of pushes both these teams here towards that center of the zone, closer and closer to take this fight with FSI. Hardcover compound there. There's Core. They are making the approach. Zabu is down. The rest of Core is still up. Great knock from Hyphy there, at least to find Zabu. Another grenade. How does that one not finish these players? That was literally perfectly placed onto both of those players, but somehow Traits survives. Zabu's still up. The res comes through. Ralza from the side, looking to potentially keep down Toxic. Hyphy put down. Core reset on the approach into the next zone. They win the fight, and they're now moving forward. Both the last member for Toxics to be spotted out there by P7, and he will go down in 10th. Core, yet again, looking for another great game. Do they potentially have the victory here this time around after falling short in second with a high amount of kills for game number 3? P7 having to come down onto FSI. Hash will get shot out there by Big Shep. Big Shep to confirm as the zone does the rest. One on the board there for FSI. Entels wrapping to the side. Should be able to take down a member of Core. They have no idea that he's here. However, he's going to have to hit those shots because as soon as he takes all 4 Core members, will look in the direction. Second to fall. Zabu to fall as well. 2 members taken down here by Entels as P7 looking to rip the game away from Core. Traits to find him, but the zone to do the rest. Core will lose 2 there to Entels. P7 out in 9th, but 2 kills before doing that. Well played from P7. No placement, but 2 kills before going out as Core having to make the rotation in. NFS still with the top spot. They have good angles, good information out of the team as Traits is inside the smoke, barely alive. He is going to get spot out. 1 bullet needs to find Traits to get the heal off just in time. 1 more now needs to find Traits if he's going to fall there. Is again still unable to come through. Traits absolutely lucky with that one. Times the heal off perfectly. Gets up and makes it behind the BRDM. Oh man. Oh, that's a stun. It was a grenade. That was a game over for Core. Comes over the top. Here comes Holdar. He finds 1. Looking to find Raldar. Dins from the side. Finds Holdar. Frosty from the side. Coming to find Ralza, but it's third-party shots to do most of the damage. From the side comes Dins. Ralza to fall. Core out in 8th. And a great grenade from GTS. Open it up. TPG here down towards the bottom. Another one to find him. Great shots coming out there from Very. As he finds not only Hunter, but Bredders, the last member up for TPG. GTS takes down TPG there in 7th. 6 teams now remain going into phase 6. 5 seconds to find phase 7 as the rotation comes through. Nuts to be confirmed. NFS picks up another one, but still takes a loss in the meantime. Andy finds a Rexy, but the res is in play for NFS with 2 minutes to make the move. The blue zone right on their back. The res will have to be instant, but it's not there. Rodder's now going to fall to Andy OG. Artemix with the right angle as well. 2 members down for NFS, and it looks like it could be their cap to fall. Rexy to find the confirmation from the play zone there as there's nowhere to go for NFS. Dins does find his way at least across the road, but that's it for now. Braveheart to fall for GTS. Driz inside the center of the zone just to survive as Iceman to the top north side of the zone. Looking to keep out FSS. GTS does find FSI on the rotation here. Fool send it. Fool sent it to the death right there. Nothing more they could do. Well played. At least able to find some kills before going out there. In 6th is GTS looking to take control of the south end. Now shots on to NFS as Rodder's confirmed to the zone. Tog picks up 1 more kill. Dins still alive. And then FSS unfortunately does find Tog right there. Does find Iceman there, leaving LTR with just the solo Driz. Action-packed final phase here as it's phase 6. Looking to phase 7 as Dins will fall for NFS. Back-to-back-to-back teams falling left and right here as we look for Driz potentially to find this knock onto Andy OG. No, it's actually Very to find the knock right there. Gets Andy OG down. GTS just coming alive, finally finding another game after the first game being a fantastic game for GTS. Have not really seen them play this hard since. Now 10 kills on the board here, 7 for Very and 3 for Gurf. None for TS14 and Arrow with none as well, but 10 kills on the bag for GTS here. Looking to potentially take home another victory here after finding the first victory of the Challenger League Season 2 with 14 kills. They now want to find another victory here, ending the day 2 on a high note. Good shots coming out here from GTS as TS14 is going to find some good angles on the FS as they're starting to take control here of the circle. It is just 2 teams left. Sorry for the step away there for a second, but it's going to be the full 4 of GTS versus the 3 members of FSS as Anthology, Tempe, and Kimi try to spread. The knock comes through. A great grenade from Very opens the door for GTS to continue the pushes, and that's exactly what they do, pressuring towards Tempe. Another grenade over the top. This time not in the right place, a little bit too far. Both those stuns as Very will come up over the top. She'll be able to spot out Tempe, goes for the confirmation, but Anthology from the side is able to thirst that one out instantly. Kimi takes control of that as Anthology will step off to get the rest here onto Tempe. Good shots, good anchor coming out. Tempe hops off as Anthology will get some good shots onto Arrow. FSS just playing this so nicely here. We've seen this fight on day 1, the same exact fight for the victory. It was FSS who came out on top there with less players the first time. It's again an FSS GTS fight, and this team have been rivaling. GTS 14 finds Anthology, and now it's just Kimi left up. Over the top comes TS14 and Very with some great help. Lil Gurf just does what he can, but it's GTS to return the favor for FSS, finally getting the victory over them here in the last match of the night. 14 kills finally, and the victory for GTS here is again, they do have 1 victory in the bag. This is the second one, but it's put up against FSS, who shut them down the first game. This time, they get the payback. They get the revenge. They take control of that circle. And lucky enough for them, TS14 was there to clutch up that end of the game right there because FSS almost pulled the rug right from underneath GTS yet again. What a way to end the Challengers League day number 2 in Season 2 as we have 4 more days still to come through. Next Tuesday, there will be an update if you guys are not aware. So we will not come back on Tuesday, as again, we'll have to reschedule that date for another time, another place. Once the update is already done and in play, we'll figure out when we can run that event that will work the best for these teams. Until then, we'll be back here on the Cold Crew exclusive channel hosting the Challenger League Season 2 back on Thursday next week, where we'll be at the same time, the same place, and day number 3 to watch these teams compete to see who is the best of the best here, trying to make themselves a name. Challenge yourselves to be better, and that is what this league is about here. Show up every week, grow, improve, and continue to do better. Great job today to the teams here. Thank you all for tuning in. As far as the viewers, and if you are the players, make sure you guys get involved for the Cold Crew Exclusives giveaway games tomorrow. Again, not only to get some entertaining action and to just have a little bit of a different PUBG experience, but to also have a chance to win some merch for your team, customized with my logo or your logo, however you feel like, both logos, if you really feel like, just to kind of support and give some love back to the community. Once again, that is inside the SSL Discord, !SSL. If you and your team, or you just as an individual player, want to get involved, please be sure to use that !SSL Discord link to get involved and look under the Cold Crew exclusive giveaway games. And we will be back here tomorrow hosting those games with the giveaways here live on stream all throughout the day tomorrow. It should be a fantastic Friday for all of us here And I really hope to have a great day with all you guys. Plenty of games to be played. We'll be streaming most of the day. Live event, a long day. And you know what? I'm looking forward to it. After my first week hosting the Challengers League, my first event put together actually by myself, it feels great to be here next to you guys and working side by side with you guys. So you know what? I appreciate all of you guys who have came out today. And again, I hope to see you all back tomorrow, same time, same place. But also, we'll be back earlier just to chat, just to kick some things and see how everybody's doing. So please, come back tomorrow with a fresh mindset, with some chances to win some prizes, and with a mindset ready to have some fun, because these custom games are different. I really hope you guys enjoy them. It's something different that I really think that is not only entertaining for the players, but entertaining for the audience. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in. Major Gurf, thank you for the raid, my man. I really do appreciate it. VG, shout out to you guys, man. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Maybe we'll have to get VG back inside of this Challenger League Season 3 here coming up for the future. We shall see. Guys, thank you so much. Mark, thanks for the co-host, man. Appreciate you being here. Code Red, Toxic, Liam, and then a couple of others. Silencer as well. LTR Nuts. Thank you all for being in the chat. Appreciate you guys making the experience that much better for the viewers here. And we'll see everybody back here tomorrow on the channel. Take care and enjoy the night, everybody.